Hello my dear students, welcome to CMI's online classes. In today's class, in this video for the students of Standard 8, we'll start the new chapter from our English grammar, that is chapter 12, Subject-Verb Agreement. That means in this chapter, we are going to understand the agreement between the subject and the verb. The correct forms of verbs that are used with the correct number of subjects, correct person of subjects whenever we write sentences. So here in this chapter, the word agreement means acceptance. Acceptance. To be agree. Acceptance of the forms of verbs, the correct forms of verbs when they are used with the subjects, when they change their number and when they change their person. Okay, so that means here we have already understood that subject is that part of the sentence about which we write the sentences. The sentences stand for subjects. Okay. Subject is always either a noun or a pronoun. Okay. So whenever we write a sentence about the subject. So if the subject is a noun or a pronoun, that noun or a pronoun may change their number. Okay. According to person means according to pronouns. Pronouns also change their number, and nouns also change their number from singular to plural. Okay. So according to that changes, the forms of verbs also change. Okay. Here forms of verbs refer to not only the forms of main action words, okay, not only main verbs, but also the forms of primary auxiliaries. Okay, primary auxiliaries. As I have told you that there are two types of verbs. One is main verbs. Main verbs are all action words, and helping verbs, and helping verbs are also of two kinds. One is primary auxiliaries and another is modal auxiliaries. As we know that modal auxiliaries are of two types. One is primary auxiliaries and another is modal auxiliaries. Okay, so primary auxiliaries are the helping verbs that also change their forms when there are changes in the number of subjects, as well as when there are changes in tenses whenever we write sentences. Okay, so primary auxiliaries, we already know there are three groups of primary auxiliary verbs. One is to be verbs. Okay, to be verbs that tell us about the state of being. Okay, state of being of subject. तो subject क्या है, क्या था, subject कैसा है, कैसा था, that is told by the group of to be verbs, which is a primary auxiliary. Now another group of primary auxiliary is to have verbs. Okay, to have verbs tell us about the state of possession of subject. State of possession of subject means subject के पास क्या है, subject के पास क्या था, that is told by the group of to have verbs. Okay. Now, this state of being also change. The state of being also changes from past to present and from present to past. In the same way, to have verbs, the state of possession also changes from past to present and present to past. And we also have another group of primary auxiliaries, that is to do verbs. Okay, to do verbs. Do, does and did. So whenever we change the sentences of in simple present from affirmative to negative, we use to do verbs as the helping verbs. Okay, that I have already explained you in the chapter tenses also. Now see, what we have to understand here is the group of to be verbs. What are the groups of to be verbs? Is, am, are, was and were. Is, am, are, was and were, has, have, had, do, does, did. These all verbs change their form when they are changed with the singular subject and when they are used with the plural subject. For example, in present tense, we have to use is, am and are. But differently, is used with singular subject, am is used with plural subject, am is used with I in present tense. Okay, but when we change these is and am into plural, it changes into are. Are is used with plural subject in present tense. But when we change this is and am into past tense, it becomes was. And when we change are plural into past tense, it becomes were. Okay, in the same way, if we use have, has and had, has is used for singular subject, have is used for plural subject, and when these two have and has are changed into past tense, it becomes had. Okay, in the same way, when we use do, does, did as the helping verbs, do is used with the singular subject, do is used with the plural subject, do is used with the plural subject, does is used with the singular subject, and when these two change into past tense, it becomes did. Did is used with both singular and plural subject but in past tense. Okay, now here I hope you have understood what is used with plural subject and what is used with singular subject. Now when we come to the main verb, we know that each main verb has 5 forms, which we generally understand by the number B1, B2, B3, B4 and B5. Here what we have to understand is the basic form of the verb B1. B1 is the basic form of the verb and it is plural. Okay, and B5 is also the basic form of the verb but it is singular. Okay, now what is the basic concept of subject and verb agreement is, if the subject is plural, then the verb is also plural, whether it is primary auxiliaries or the main verbs. From main verbs, we understand B1 as the plural verb and B5 as the singular verb. That means if the subject is plural, then we have to use B1. If the subject is singular, we have to use B5. Okay. And from here, I hope you have understood about the explanation I have made about the uses of is, am, are, was and were, has, have, had and do, does, did. Okay. Now we will move ahead with the further explanation and understanding about the subject and verb agreement. What it is written here? A verb should agree with the subject in number and in person. So जिस तरीके से हम verbs को sentences पर use करते हैं, उसे हम according to the number of subjects and according to the person of the subject हम use करते हैं. That means जब number of subject में changes आएगा, तब verb forms में भी change आएगा. जब person change होगा subject का, okay, that means pronouns from singular to plural change होगा, तब भी हम verb change करेंगे. It also changes, verbs also changes when there is a change in tenses about the expression of action. Okay. In other words, a singular subject takes a singular verb and a plural subject takes a plural verb. This is the basic concept of the subject and verb agreement, this chapter. Okay. जब सब्जेक्ट प्लूरल होगा तो वर्ब भी प्लूरल होगा, जब सब्जेक्ट सिंगुलर होगा तो वर्ब भी सिंगुलर होगा. एंड जब जहां तक मुझे पता है कि अब तक आपको पता चल चुका होगा कि मेन वर्ब्स में कौन सा वर्ब प्लूरल है, कौन सा वर्ब सिंगुलर है. एंड फ्रॉम द प्राइमरी ऑक्सिलरीज ऑल्सो विच वर्ब इज विच ग्रुप ऑफ प्राइमरी ऑक्सिलरीज आर सिंगुलर एंड विच ग्रुप्स ऑफ प्राइमरी ऑक्सिलरीज आर प्लूरल. ओके, like once again I am telling you, from to be verbs is, am, are, was and were, is and am are singular verb. Okay, is used with singular subject in present tense, am is used with I in present tense. Okay, but are is used with plural subject. Are is plural verb. In present tense, are is used with plural subject. Now in past tense, is and am are changed into was. In past tense, was is used with singular subject and were is used with plural subject. Okay. Now come to the group of to have verbs. Okay. Have is used with plural subject in present tense, has is used with singular subject in present tense. Now both these have and has are changed into had in past tense. Okay. Now do, does, did. Do is used with plural subject, does is used with singular subject in present tense, and both these do and does are changed into did in past tense. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now this further explanation we have to understand, because we have to understand about the forms of subject. In different forms we have to understand. Okay, understood. So here what we have to understand is, see, what we have to understand here, what we have to understand is the main concept of the subject, how the subject is being used in sentences. Okay, now how subject represents itself, that we have to understand. Okay, so here what it is given here, the main objective of all my efforts is to help him. So here if you see, the subject is this whole group of words, the main objectives of my efforts. Okay, so this is the subject. So the verb is used according to the subject. Okay, so this verb should agree with the subject depending upon the number of the subject and a person of the subject, and also with the reference of tense. Okay, so here what is the head word in the noun phrase is objective. Okay, so here objective, which is singular. So I have used singular verb, as I have told you that is used with singular, the main objective of my efforts. So here the main subject is objective. If you see the main subject, we have to catch the main subject. The main subject is the objective here. So the verb is also singular, because the main subject is singular. Okay, understood. Now see here, all my plans to start a new school have failed. So here if you see, the subject is in the form of phrase like we have in the first sentence, but when you see the main subject here, the main subject is plans, which is plural. Okay, so the verb is also plural, have. As I have told you, have is used with plural. Okay, understood. So here the head word in the noun phrase is plans, which is plural. Like we had objective in the first sentence, which is singular, so we had to use singular verb. Okay, so here plural subject, so plural verb. Okay, have is used with plural, as I have told you. So now we will go with further explanation of the use of correct forms of verbs in accordance with the number and person of the subjects when they are used, and also according to the reference of tenses. Okay, now let us see what are the rules for subject and verb agreement. Number 1, if two or more singular nouns or pronouns are joined by and, a plural verbs is to be used. जब सब्जेक्ट के प्लेस में दो नाउन या तो दो प्रोनाउन होता है जिसे एंड से, कंजंक्शन एंड से जोड़ा गया होता है, तो इसका मतलब हमारा सब्जेक्ट, वी हैव टू नाउन्स और टू प्रोनाउंस, दैट मीन्स वी हैव प्लूरल सब्जेक्ट, सो वी हैव टू यूज प्लूरल वर्ब. लाइक राम एंड सैम आर फ्रेंड्स, वी हैव टू सब्जेक्ट्स, राम एंड सैम, सैम एंड राम. ओके, सो टू नाउन्स, that means plural nouns, so we have plural verbs. Okay, honesty and bravery are virtues, so we have two subjects. What are the two subjects? One is bravery and one is honesty. So we have two subjects, so plural verbs, plural verb. Okay, their car and house have been sold to my friend. So now here we have two subjects. What? One is car and another is house. All these two subjects in each, two nouns which are used as the subjects in each sentence have been joined by the conjunction and and they both all the subjects are differently used as the different nouns or different pronouns used as the subject. So we have plural subjects, so we have plural verbs. Okay, have plural verb. Okay, but sometimes what happens, plural nouns or two singular nouns joined by and suggest a single person, thing or idea. लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है, हम भले ही सब दो अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट को क्या करते हैं, एंड से जोड़ते हैं, और उस समय हम समझते हैं कि अब हमारा सब्जेक्ट क्या है, प्लूरल है. लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है, टू सब्जेक्ट रेफर टू one person or one thing or one idea. In that case, we have to understand after reading the sentence, then we have to use singular verb. Okay, because in that case, if two subjects refer to one person or one thing or one idea, in that case we have to use singular verb. Okay, singular verb. Like a great poet and essayist has died. That means only one person has died. Okay, because we are referring to one person. Okay, like a great poet and essayist has died. Or we can also say that a great poet and essayist is my friend. So is also we can use here, because we are referring to the same person, my friend, so is used, singular. Bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. So we are talking about breakfast. The idea is about the breakfast. Okay, so is. Okay, 10 kilometers. When we talk about the distance, when we talk about the amount of money, when we talk about the weight, height, distance, all these measurements, for this we use singular verb. 10 kilometers is a good distance. Like sometimes what happens, we see that the verbs, the subjects sound plural, like Gulliver's Travels. So Travels is understood as plural. Okay, but here Gulliver's Travels refer to one book, so it is the title of the book, which is only one. Okay, that needs singular verb. Okay, so the United States is a big country. So here don't go to states as the plural, because United States refer to only one country, so it uses a singular verb. Okay, so I hope you have understood this explanation. Next is a singular noun joined to another singular or plural noun by which, along with, as well as takes a singular verb. Okay, जब हम एक सिंगुलर नाउन को जो एक सब्जेक्ट की तरह यूज होता है, उसको हम सेंटेंस में प्लूरल नाउन के साथ यूज करते हैं बाय यूजिंग विथ, अलोंग विथ, एज वेल एज के साथ जब हम ज्वाइन करते हैं, तो उस समय we have to see the main subject. She along with her friends is joining us shortly. We are talking only about she because she is coming with her friends. Okay, the bus with all its passenger seems to be veering off the road. So we are talking about the bus. The main subject is the bus. Okay, we are joining this phrase, these phrases along with the subject. Okay, and the main subject is singular in form, so we have to use singular subject, singular verb. Mala as well as her sisters is interested in buying this property. So we are talking about mainly Mala. Okay, so singular verb. Okay, now the third point to understand is a singular noun joined to another singular noun by or nor takes a singular verb. Okay, when we join two subjects by using or nor, not neither nor, not either or. Okay, only by using or. Okay, in that case we take singular verb. They or their sister has contacted the manager. So here what we have to see is after or, which verb do we have, which noun, which form of noun, which number of noun do we have. Okay, after that we have to use the singular subject. Okay, neither Siddharth nor I am going to help you. So here what we have to understand is, whenever we use neither, nor, either, or, after or and nor we have to see the number of subjects. Okay, see here, if you see here, neither Siddharth nor his friends, neither Siddharth nor his friends, अगर I के जगह his friends होता तो friends तो singular plural है, तो यहाँ पर plural verb होगा. Okay, like neither Siddharth nor his friends are going to help you. Understood? Either you or he has broken the glass. Okay, so now after nor or we have to see the number of subjects. Either you or your friends. अगर यहाँ पर friends होता ही के जगह तो यहाँ पर have होता. Have is used with plural. Okay, यहाँ पर अगर friends होता तो यहाँ पर have broken the glass. So this way we have to understand. Okay, see here, if one of the nouns joined by nor or is plural, the verb should be plural. Okay, that means after nor or when we join the another subject, another noun or pronoun, if that noun or pronouns are plural, then we have to use plural verb as I have explained here. Okay, like either you or your assistants. So after or we have assistants plural, so have plural. Okay, neither Meera nor her parents. After nor we have used another noun as parents, which is plural, so we have used were, plural verb. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now see, the fourth point is each, everyone, either, neither, many, are followed by a singular verb. For example, so whenever we use whenever the subject in a sentence is introduced by each, because each goes to individual noun or pronoun of the subject, everyone goes to individual noun or pronoun of the subject, and either also, like either of the students. After using either only, after using neither only, we have whatever the subject comes, it comes the plural, but either and neither also refers to the every individual of the subject. Okay, now after using many, because we are using which is used for the singular subject, so we use singular verb. Like either boy has got the experience, neither of us was. Neither of us means none of us, each of them. Them means plural, but whoever are there among them, we are going individually about them. Okay, so we have used the singular has. So I hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, kindly clear your doubts. In our next video we will discuss more about the rules of subject and verb agreement. Okay.